Welcome into the Browns Report, everybody. We are live on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon ahead of the Cleveland Browns Week 7 matchup against the Miami Dolphins. I am your host, Joey O'Donohue. Good to see everybody in the building. 112 viewers already because we got Cleveland Browns trade news we're going to talk about. We got Cleveland Browns quarterback news. Lots of fun stuff coming up on the show. And like I said, we're taking on Miami. Who you got in Week 7? If you think the Browns are going to win, type CLE in the chat. If you think the Dolphins are going to take this one, type MIA in there. I already see Joshua Miller coming in with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Joshua Miller, good to see you in here, my friend. He says, bring back Bill Callahan ASAP, as in yesterday. Love it, Joshua Miller. I see a lot of Browns fans calling for this. I mean, Bill Callahan left along with Brian Callahan from Tennessee, so maybe we could help that our offensive line would be better. Bring back Bill Callahan. That's what the Browns fans are saying right now. AFX with the $2 super chat. Hey, but what are you? What is this? He's him or AFX? I mean, what the heck is this, AFX? Thank you for the $2 super chat. AFX, our friend. Then we got Rigbone as well with another $2 super chat. Oh, that's pretty electric. You met Quinshon Judkins? No way. He's Chubb 2.0. Trade Ford, please. Stick around for segment 1, Rigbone. We got some Cleveland Browns reports to get to here. But that's sick. Where did you meet Judkins? That is, I'm a big fan of his game right now. It's incredible. Rose with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Rose. Says, I don't know if this was a mistake or not, but I could have been a Rams fan, but I'm a loyal Tar. That's what being a Browns fan is all about, Rose. My dad says that to me all the time. He used to say, why didn't you become a Patriots fan? I was like, I mean, you're a Browns fan. I just became a Browns fan because you're rooting for them, and now I'm locked in for life. So here we are. Rams look pretty good, though, Rose. But we're here. We're diehard. We're loyal Browns fans. We're never leaving. That's why we're the most loyal, dedicated fan base in the league. We've been through the most. AFX with another $2 super chat. Look at the supers flowing in. Reed's laughing about this one behind the scenes. Joe whipping Nene. I used to do a pretty mean whipping Nene when it was popular back in the day. Well, my hen.
It's currently popular right now in Studio E. Let's see it. Let's see it.
All right, I'll give you a little taste.
All right,
I'll give you a little taste. You ready for this? Hey, come on now. Come on now. For the $2 super chat. My 4 hens. You're from Connecticut. I was living in Connecticut. But you're a Vikings fan. Interesting. Rose, favorite player, James Laurinaitis. Got to meet him. Don't know why I stopped. CJ thinks the Bengals are better than the Browns. No way. Come on. Our defense is way better than theirs.
The Bengals are really bad without Joe Burrow.
They suck. They're awful. They got Joe Flacco now, though. We gave him to him. AFX, another $2 super chat. Said, Joseph, I could have been a 49ers fan, but here I am. We all could have. Yeah, he said Joe already. He said Joseph. It's Joey O, AFX. But appreciate the 2. Seems like we all could have gone different ways. But the fact that we're still here right now, after what we've been through, best fan base in the league. Cleveland Browns. We're diehard. We're loyal. We've endured the most. I mean, that's why we're the strongest fans, the toughest fan base, most persistent, most dedicated. They got to give us that title. This should be an award, best fan base in the NFL. Cleveland Browns win it every year, baby. Go Browns. James has got Cleveland winning. Michael's got Cleveland winning. I love it. Rose. Oh, yeah, for sure. $2 super chat from Rose. Thank you. Rose said, what if, for a coach pick, we snag Flores to be head coach? definitely one that's on the market. We're actually going to talk about this later in the show as well, Rose. So stick around. But I do think Flores is very defensive-minded. And I want to bring in a guy that's going to fix his offense right now. We got Jim Schwartz doing a great job on the defense. I'd keep him in Cleveland. But Brian Flores, he'll get some offers. And I want an offensive-minded head coach. But he's definitely an option out there. Rigbone and Ben, look at all these $2 supers coming in, folks. Rigbone bringing up ESPN mock draft. I did see one of those as well. Has us picking Tate with Jacksonville's pick. I'm hearing a lot about wide receiver Garnell Tate potentially coming to Cleveland. I'd love it. We desperately need a wide receiver. I saw one having us take Dante Moore as well, which is pretty interesting. I mean, I don't know if I love this QB class this year. All the big names are kind of not playing well. So we'll see. Ben Spar with a $2 super chat as well. Bring Bill back. Get DG more shot plays to Bond, please. I like the second part of that, Ben. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Take some shots. Bond's got the speed. I don't think that's Dillon's game, man. I'm starting to think through 2 games it hasn't been in his arsenal. So, we're going to talk about the advanced metrics. I got some good stats for you about Dillon Gabriel's 2 performances, so get ready. And then, bring Bill back. Callahan. This is what the Browns fans are screaming on Twitter right now. But you might be thinking about Bill Callahan. What about Bill Belichick? We're talking about that later in the show today, too, folks. Lots of fun going on here on this Browns Report Live. Joshua Miller again with the $2 super chat. Oh, Josh was all aboard the Mendoza train. Make it happen, AB. I mean, if you had to pick a quarterback, Moore or Mendoza, probably one of the top ones right now. I don't know. I want to see our rookies first. I want to see Shedeur play first before we draft yet another rookie quarterback, Because then we got 3 on the roster? You can't keep 3 basically rookie quarterbacks. Let's see what we got.
I like Sawyer Robertson.
Yeah?
From Baylor.
Oh, okay. Okay, Reed. Rose said, we've been in rebuild since 2000. I'm tired of rebuilding. It certainly feels like it. Rose with a $2 super chat. Look at it. These are great questions, you guys. These are all awesome. FX, put it in the watch emoji. I think we're going to see him this year. Don't worry. But that's the thing. I want to see them. I want to see both our rookies play before I draft another rookie quarterback. Rose, remind me why we got rid of Dorsey? I don't remember why, Rose. I don't know if they had a good justification. It's now Stefanski and Tommy Rees running that offense. Running that offense. Mark Smith, why can't you keep 3 rookie quarterback contracts? You could keep 3 rookie quarterback contracts, but what's the point of having 3 rookie quarterbacks on your depth chart?
I was going to say, it's not about the contracts. It's about having 3 rookie quarterbacks as your quarterback room.
Yeah, the third one's never going to play in the NFL. Like, just be sitting there. Contracts would be great, but just takes up a roster spot. College Ave. Rebuilding isn't rebuilding if you burn it down every year. That's probably the most upsetting thing about the Browns this year. This shouldn't be a rebuild. They came into the year with such a good defense. And I think all of this is also just kind of a fallout from the Deshaun Watson deal still. You're still just seeing the effects of it. Like, that's why we don't have offensive linemen or receivers, because we've just been trying our best to recover from that trade. But we're there, almost. Give it a year or 2. Cleveland will be back. Don't worry. Folks, coming up on the show, we've got some juicy topics to get into if you're a Browns fan. First, we got some Browns trade news and reports that came out today from ESPN. It's a brand new one. We're going to talk about it. Don't miss if Cleveland's going to make another deal. I expect they will before the deadline, maybe multiple. The quarterback situation in Cleveland, we're going to talk about how Dillon Gabriel's looked so far and the plan for Shedeur Sanders. Is it time to bring him in now, later? What are fans and the Browns front office saying? Kevin Stefanski replacements. Seems like everybody wants him out of Cleveland. We got a poll going in the chat right now. 79% of people think Kevin Stefanski should be fired. So we're going to talk about realistic options to take his place and be the new head coach of the Cleveland Browns. And then finally, a fan Q&A mailbag. You guys have been asking awesome questions already. We're going to gather your questions that you super chat with and put them in our mailbag video, or use the hashtag Browns in that comment section with a question, and we'll try to get yours in the show. If you got a take or a question you need me to answer that you want all of YouTube to see, that you want out there, I'll put you on the show with a super chat. You automatically get in, or you can use the hashtag Browns and put in a question. Gregory Pottinger said, buy out Belichick. Maybe. Maybe it's one of the names. We'll see. Rose, I can only be patient for so long. I know. It was like every year. It's like, we got to be patient. We're tired of it. We want change now. But unfortunately, might take a bit. We shall see.
I feel like you have the Belichick cutoff sweatshirt on.
Yeah, low key. Little Bill Belichick. Bring him to Cleveland. We'll see. So, yeah, lots of fun to have on today's show here. I think we should start to get right into our first segment. I mean, how's that sound, Reed? We might as well. Remember, guys, super chat with a question to be a part of our mailbag video. Tom Green. Oh, Pebble Hunter, the legend. Rose. Let's look at some of these Tom Green. Any relation to Tim Green? TW. $10 super chat. Woo, woo. We will get all super chats up on the screen, starting with Tom Green. Thank you so much for that $2 super. Pebble Hunter with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Pebble Hunter. The replacement for Stefanski has to be Schwartz. Yeah, I mean, definitely in the short term, I would imagine Jim Schwartz becomes interim head coach if the firing were to happen mid-season. They'd give him the year, see what happens. I bet that's the immediate solution. We'll see. But I love what he does with the defense, so it's not bad to keep him at DC if needed. TW with the biggest super chat of the day so far, the $10 super. TW, thank you so much. Let's read what TW's got to say. I don't care if it was preseason or not. The most exciting and high-scoring game was Sanders' first game. That is a fact. Browns don't deserve a quarterback on their team. They are scared to trade Sanders because he may be a Baker. You know, I was making this point very early on in my chat sports career, actually, that I didn't want us to make the same mistake and let Sanders go before we find out how good he could be. But first part of that is an absolute fact, TW. It was the most exciting. You know what? I saw, Reed, I don't know if you saw this, Reed, but there was, I think it was Aqib Talib was on a podcast, and he was talking to another, like, well-known guy. And they were saying, regardless, when you put Shedeur in, like, the atmosphere is going to be so much better. It will be a spark no matter what, just by making that change, especially if you do it at home. Like, it's going to be, the crowd's going to be into it, the players, everyone's going to be into it. It's going to be a spark no matter what to start Shedeur. So, like, there's truth to that, and I think we see it at some point this season. To TW's point, it's going to be the most exciting game,
Going from Flacco to Gabriel, it was like all right. I think it would be a little bit different, and it would stop like the question marks.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many question marks with, so many people are like, no, he's not as good as he thinks and as people think. And then there's the other side where it's like, well, he is good. He just needs to get a chance.
Right.
You give him a chance, see what he does. If he doesn't do well, then one side's right.
Yeah.
If he does really well, then the other side's right. If he does just okay, better than what you've had.
Right. I think that's the thing. Everybody wants to see it. Let's figure it out. So, and yeah, they were saying, like, literally, hey, if you did it this game at home and this Dolphins game is so winnable, In fact, the Browns are favored, by the way. Cleveland's -3. So, this would be the game.
Myles Garrett might kill Tua.
Yeah, I was shocked that Garrett didn't really affect the game last week against Pittsburgh. Against Miami, like, you expect him to be in the backfield the whole time. That's right, Wolf. Browns are favored. At home, so, I mean, basically a pick 'em because I think you get 3 points for being at home, but, like, they're favored. -3. Mark says the Cleveland Browns should trade Dillon Gabriel. Then we need another quarterback on the roster. Yeah, put a hashtag Browns on that. We might get you on the show, folks. Or Super Chat. We'll automatically put you in. We've got some great Super Chat questions already here. I'm excited for this Q&A already. It's going to be fun. That'll be our last segment of the show, folks, so stick around for it. 180 people in the building right now. Appreciate you all tuning in. And, yeah, drop a like on the video while you're here. We got 37 likes, 186. We can spread this. If you like the video, tells YouTube, hey, people are watching. We get more Browns fans in here, more takes. It'll be a lot of fun. Talk Tone said Shedeur has charisma, is happy, funny, clowns with his teammates. Dillon Gabriel frowns and never laughs. That's funny. I mean, Shedeur definitely has that energy for sure. For sure. I just thought it was funny that everyone's we're like comparing literally everything, every aspect of the two. It's like their demeanor, their play, all of it. Yeah. How they look, how they're dressed. It's funny, but no, yeah, I think Shedeur would bring charisma. Absolutely. All right, folks.
Joshua, what's on the menu tonight?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was quick.
Grilled chicken.
And chicken.
And grilled chicken.
So grilled chicken and grilled chicken.
Double
dose of grilled chicken.
Joshua Miller gets double dose of grilled chicken. I love it. That's awesome. It's awesome, dude. And broccoli and rice. That's a good, healthy, complete meal. I gotta get me some of that, Joshua Miller. Uh-oh. Reach down. Seems like the Browns coach is trying to make Gabriel look decent more than he's trying to win games. Play calling is horrible. Calvin, that's actually correct. That's literally what it looks like and what it seems like, Just based on how the play calling has been, it's unbelievably conservative. Gabriel averaged 6 air yards per attempt last week, 5.5 air yards per attempt the week before. I mean, if you saw the passing chart, which I think I'm putting up later in the show, it's unbelievable. The play calling, very conservative. I think he's trying to, I think they were trying to protect Gabriel going against two good defenses. They were like, well, don't do too much. Let's just not turn it over. But that's not a winning recipe. Again, 2 more weeks where we don't put up 20. And there are a couple passes that were nearly picked against the Steelers last week, if you guys were watching. So, it's crazy. All right, folks. Reminder, Super Chat with a question or take, or use the hashtag Browns in that comment section if you want to be on the video. Get your question or take heard. J-Dub's got a good point. 52 attempts, only 220 yards. I mean, it was very conservative. Yeah. Literally, right? AFX! Use another variation of Joey. So, yo, Joe. Why haven't they really used Samson in the passing game anymore? Hey, that's a good question, AFX. I think a lot of people are calling for him to get a little more reps. What's kind of interesting? Because they are using Ford, Samson kind of split. I think they're trying to boost up Jerome Ford's value a little bit. They're trying to make his trade value increase a little. There's a month left less than a month now until the trade deadline's up. So I think eventually we'll see a little bit more Samson in the receiving game for sure. He's elusive. It's weird that they kind of stopped going to him. And we got Tone with the $2 super chat saying, Joey, oh! Thank you so much, Tone. I love this. One of my favorite greetings. Thank you, Tone. Appreciate you and your $2 super chat. Go. We're great. We're a great community we got in here, folks. Love these Browns fans, faithful. Hey, look, we got 48 likes on the stream. 2 more people hit that like button, get 50 likes. Very easy. And then we'll start the show. Just go down there, tap that like button real quick so we can get to 50 likes. And then let's get right in to some Cleveland Browns trade rumors that ESPN literally just posted today. So we got one that we think is going to come very soon for Cleveland. Oh, yeah. CJ says Joe Burrow is better than Dillon Gabriel. I would agree. Should put that in the Q&A. If you use hashtag Browns on that, CJ, maybe we'll fire that up.
Well,
hot take. Joe Burrow greater than Dillon Gabriel.
I don't know, Jim.
I don't know.
This guy Shedeur Sanders, though.
Yeah. I don't know. Burrow had 0 yards last week. Get rid of 200.
You know, Joe Burrow actually had more passing yards than Justin Fields last week.
Wait, actually?
Yeah.
The Fields have negative?
-10.
No way. What? That's awful. AFX. Put a $2 super chat. This is a good question. I might have to do a little video on this later in the season because I love talking about Judkins, but I did so much research on his legal situation. In August, that was like when I got here, that whole month I was reading up on everything the lawyers had said, everything the NFL was investigating. AFX says, could a Quinshawn suspension happen next year just like Rice? And yeah, it actually could. I talked about this a little bit too because it's very similar to Rice's situation right now where they're still investigating Judkins and they've given us no word, no update. So the fact that he's just been able to play, it might be the exact same thing where he plays the whole year and then next year they're like, you know what, he's going to start 6 games, 4 games, whatever it is. If they find that he violated the NFL's personal conduct policy, they would rule that. But no news is good news. We're able to just play Judkins right now, so let's hope we can as long as possible here in Cleveland. But some great questions with these super chats, folks. I mean, we're going to, you keep getting those in as we're filming because at the end we're doing a Q&A video, and this is going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one for sure. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I think it's time we talk about Cleveland's big trade rumor here with 217 people in the live right now and 58 likes on it. Hit that like button as we get started for our first segment of the day. All right. You feel good, Reed? ESPN has listed another Cleveland Browns player that is expected to be traded by the NFL trade deadline. Welcome into the Browns Report, folks. I am your host, Joey O'Donohue, and you're not going to want to miss ESPN's Jeremy Fowler and Dan Graziano got together. We're talking about trade rumors, talking about players that are probably going to get moved by the trade deadline, and a Cleveland Brown player has been named that we have not talked about yet as a trade candidate. So get ready. Stay tuned. It's coming up on the show. We're talking about it here. And before that, do you want to just redo it?
Spam F Reed in the chat. That was my fault.
Spam F Reed. We guys get to see a little behind the scenes. All right. Try it again. All right. Ready? Cool. Let's do it. ESPN has listed another Cleveland Browns player that is expected to be traded by the NFL trade deadline. Welcome into the Browns Report, everybody. I am your host, Joey O'Donohue, and you're not going to want to miss what ESPN's Jeremy Fowler and Dan Graziano said. They got together, named a bunch of players that are expected to be moved by the trade deadline, and a Cleveland Brown came up that we have not talked about yet on the show. It's very likely this move could happen. Before we get into it, though, make sure you are subscribed to the Browns Report. Can we hit 55K subs today on today's video? We're only 162 people away from joining the family before we hit that next milestone. And what do you get if you do? Daily free Cleveland Browns shows. So if you love the Cleveland Browns, if you're a diehard fan and you want some free content every single day, it's there for you by the free click of a button. We're here for you always, folks, and we love the Cleveland Browns here on the Browns Report. Okay, up first on the show, it's Jeremy Fowler, who was asked to name a running back that will be on the move. This article was on ESPN.com, and Fowler's response when asked this question was, I'll go with the Browns' Jerome Ford. It's a rookie show in Cleveland. Quinshon Judkins and Dillon Sampson will man the backfield moving forward. The Browns have remained active in the market with 3 trades executed in recent weeks, and Ford has enough cachet in the league with 1,378 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns over 2023 to 2024 to attract interest. And, I think there's some truth to this as well. I've been saying it for a little bit over a month now that Cleveland should be trading Jerome Ford as he works his way down the depth chart with the 2 rookies coming up to be 1 and 2. Now, they started using Jerome Ford a little bit more in recent weeks, especially in the return game, but I think that's to boost his value a little bit more, and it gives some validity to this claim from Jeremy Fowler that it might attract interest from some teams. If you look at the Browns' depth chart right now, Quinshon Judkins is the workhorse running back 1. I mean, they mainly just use him. And then they'll sprinkle in a little bit of Sampson. They'll sprinkle in a little bit of Ford, as I mentioned. And then Raheem Sanders, who has not been active on game day the past couple of weeks, but he's a big running back if they ever need at the goal line. And they did get rid of Ford, then we could maybe see some Rocket Sanders, who did well in week 1 as well, for first touchdown of the Cleveland Browns season. And so Ford being traded, it would probably only get you a 6th or 7th round pick, maybe a 5th if we could really fleece a team, stretch it out, say, get Ford for a 5th. That'd be a great deal for Cleveland. But regardless, I think you get another draft pick for Jerome Ford. That's absolutely a steal for Cleveland. That would be ideal. And it could end up being like a late round pick swap, kind of like we saw with Flacco. But I think Ford has a little bit more value than that. And maybe you get a 6th or 7th for trading Ford. And Andrew Berry has been stacking up draft picks for next year's drafts, folks. It's looking pretty dang good. Dan Graziano had this to say as well in the article. Teams I expect to have interest in acquiring a running back ahead of the deadline include, but are not limited to, the Chiefs, Texans, and Chargers. So let's talk about some possible destinations for Jerome Ford. Who will Cleveland be trading with if they move number 34? Well, the Texans would be funny because they already have our other former running back, Nick Chubb, as their starter. But it'd be kind of weird if they did that, right? Because you think Joe Mixon could come back at some point. They got that young Woody Marks backing up Chubb as well, who's looking pretty good. So it'd be funny. They had Ford and Chubb. What, are they trying to copy us? But a little bit weird if they were to make this move. The Chiefs, on the other hand, they need rushing help right now. You thought Pacheco was going to be their guy, but I got a stat to show you here about the Chiefs' rushing game in 2025, and it is weird, folks. I mean, their leading rusher right now is Patrick Mahomes through 6 weeks of the NFL season. Mahomes, who's not even a very quarterback known for his running ability. I mean, he can move, but he's not like a Lamar Jackson. He doesn't take off and run all the time. He leads the Chiefs in rushing with 222 rushing yards. Pacheco is second. And then they have another one of our former running backs, Kareem Hunt, who's got 187 yards this year. But they desperately need the help in that game. Now, I think the Chiefs want a little bit more of a star than Jerome Ford. I mean, this is a team that the AFC is shockingly wide open to everybody this year. I mean, we thought, okay, the Bills are the team then. Well, they just lost 2 in a row. They lost to the Falcons. I mean, it's so open that all of a sudden it's like, well, the Chiefs, who just do it every year, who's to say they're not going to come out of the AFC again? I think they want someone that can make a bigger impact. They might go out and get more of like a Breece Hall type of player, an Alvin Kamara, 2 star running backs who are on the market right now. So that would be my only hesitation with that. But they need a running back. Jerome Ford is on the block for Cleveland. The Chargers, the other team Dan Graziano had mentioned, well, they really need short-term running back help. That's the key here because they've been plagued with injuries in their running back room. This could absolutely make sense for the Browns to trade with Los Angeles. I mean, this is their starting running back right now. Kimani Vidal, Hassan Haskins, the backup. You probably don't even know 1 or 2 of these guys. And they're the number 1 and 2 on the Chargers depth chart. That's because their rookie, Omarion Hampton, is on IR as is Najee Harris. Look, the Chargers are a good team, and they need immediate help. This makes sense to me. They would put a cheap price, a late pick, to go out and get Jerome Ford. He'll help them for the next couple weeks, just like he was the starter in Cleveland last year for a few weeks. And so they're a good team. They're in contention, and they need the help right now, immediately. They'll get Hampton back later, and they'll go to their young starting rookie running back. But for right now, just kind of like how the Bengals called us up and said they need a quarterback for right now. Here's a 5th-round pick. I can see the Chargers doing that. We need a running back right now. Give us Ford. He would be cheap, and he would help them out for their immediate situation until Hampton is able to come back. Folks, be the GM for me. Play the role of Andrew Berry. Should the Browns trade Jerome Ford? If you think they should, type Y for yes in the comment section. If you don't think so, if you think he should be the backup to Judkins, well, type N for no in the comment section. Like I said, I think it's a good idea. It's rookie season in Cleveland, rookie running back season specifically. You do not need to hang on to Jerome Ford. I believe he's on a contract here as well. Before I get into some more teams that Cleveland could be trading with, I'm excited to tell you that this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. And honestly, I'm just so hyped that Browns football is back on Sundays. All is right with the world, and I'm big into daily fantasy with Prize Picks. I'm obsessed with it because it makes all the games more entertaining. And before the Browns play, I lock in on all my players in my lineup and their player projections. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. And Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you could pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want to pick more on Josh Allen's pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns? Now you can pick all of them in the same lineup only on Prize Picks. I had to go make a lineup for myself. And we got division opponents playing on Thursday night. Well, give me Jamar Chase more than half a touchdown and our boy Joe Flacco less than 235.5 passing yards. He's not doing that against the Steelers defense. Finally, I like how Trevor Lawrence has been playing. Give me more than half a passing touchdown for Lawrence. If you want to try and make some money, you can tail me, make this same lineup, or make your own. But to do so, you got to download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. All right, folks, let's get into the remainder of teams that still need running backs. You can actually go ahead and put 4 of these on here, Producer Reed, because the first 3 we got from Graziano. I'm adding 2 to this list. The New England Patriots, one that was talking to some Patriots insiders, and they say the Pats desperately need a running back right now, folks. Let's get into their situation going on. First of all, Antonio Gibson, supposed to be a guy they use a lot heavily in the run game. Well, he's out for the season. You see him at the very bottom there, Gibson on IR, out for the year. And Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson. Well, first of all, Cleveland made the right choice drafting Quinshon Judkins and not Travion Henderson. Judkins was the better Ohio State running back, folks. And Stevenson has had a fumbling problem. I mean, the Patriots' history, running backs have never been their strong suit. You're seeing that once again this week. And so the 2 backs have not been producing very well. They, like I said, fumbling issues. And last week against the Saints, it was really bad. So due to injuries, lack of depth, Jerome Ford would add to that depth chart and make things a little bit better. I mean, the yards per carry against the Saints was awful for Henderson and Stevenson. So Patriots need the help desperately. I think they're actively going to look for a running back and a wide receiver. But in this case, Jerome Ford being on the block, I could see this happening. For sure, it all makes sense. Chargers and Patriots, if anyone's going to pay a late-round pick for Ford, those 2 make some sense to me. So that would be 4 teams through here, and I've got one more for you guys that needs a running back. Will Cleveland make the deal? The Washington Commanders, similar situation. They have suffered with some injuries to their running back room, to their running back depth chart. And so you look at this, they've got a 7th-round pick running their offense at RB1. Austin Eckler went to IR, and they could use some help in that room as well. I think Jerome Ford would be a nice piece to mix in there with McNichols, with Bill Krosky-Barrett, who hopefully emerges as a fantasy football stud, as everyone said. But like I said, they're relying on a 7th-round pick to be running back 1. If you can give up a cheap pick and get Jerome Ford, that might help as well. Now, I say it's possible, but if I had to predict where Ford is going, I wouldn't say it would be the Commanders, because they do have 3 that they mix in there. That's kind of a little running back by committee. And maybe Krosky-Barrett can emerge as the star that a lot of people on Twitter want him to be. So I wouldn't necessarily predict that he would go to the Commanders, but it's another team that had a running back injury that could be in the mix to go out and get one. You be the fortune teller for me in the comment section. What team will Jerome Ford be traded to? Comment down below a team, if you had to pick one, that Cleveland would ship out Jerome Ford to. And what do you think we could get for him? Like I said, I think it's a late pick, but you let me know. Be the fortune teller in the comment section. Folks, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Browns Report. If you want some more rumors and want to talk about some more trade candidates, you can go over to my Twitter at JoeyO70. Give me a follow on there, comment on there. I'll talk to all you Browns fans at JoeyO70. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed to the Browns Report, and we will see you next time. Awesome. What's going on with Chugs? Big super chat, maybe? I think he got big super. My friend just sent me Gary Barnidge career highlights. That's electric. Literally one of my favorite tight ends at the time. All right, folks, that was our first trade rumor of the day. Ford, let's see what people were saying. Did they want Ford to go? Also had a couple super chats come on in. Joshua Miller, appreciate you, man. We will get all supers on the screen. Let's see what else people were saying. Rose said we should have let Ford go a year ago. Law Snap said free 12. Talking about Shedeur. What else? What else we got people saying in here? Marco saying Olave would be a 2nd-round pick. I think you get him for a 3rd. Just because of his concussion injury history. Talent-wise, he'd be a 2nd, though, for sure. Joshua Miller, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Can we build a trade around Njoku for Olave? Hey, that'd be kind of interesting. If we could, I'd be down. But yeah, they have multiple tight ends. Juwan Johnson, Taysom Hill. There's one more as well. Boston Moreau, I think. So that's my only thing is I don't know if they want a tight end. But if you could package Njoku to get a good wide receiver, I'm listening. We desperately need a receiver so bad. Our receivers rank towards the bottom of the league right now in separation and drops. We lead the league. Everything. It's awful. Joshua Miller again. Right? $2 super chat. Build a trade around Jerome Ford and Hollywood Brown. Oh, actually, yeah. I like this one as well. Chiefs have, now that they got Rice back, I'd take one of their receivers and we give them Ford like I just showed you. It would help their room right now. So I would love that too. Joshua Miller cooking up trade ideas right now. I like it. I like it with these super chats. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, Cleveland I'm expecting them to be active before the deadline. I mean, they have already made 3 trades, and all the reports say the Browns are going to make more trades. The insiders have said it. ESPN has said it. Like, get ready. That's why you subscribe and have your notifications on, because there's going to be Browns breaking news in the next month, folks. I'm going to be here to cover you with it. Jump on here immediately. Give you the immediate analysis reaction. Be the smartest Browns fan in the room. Josh Miller for GM. Hashtag Browns. Sign him up. Hire him. Hire Josh Miller. What a legend. What a legend. All right. Coming up, got more action-packed Browns segments to get to, folks. It's time to talk about the quarterback situation. I see everybody commenting about it. Everyone's talking about Shedeur versus Gabriel, so you know what? Let's talk about Shedeur and when he's going to start and how Gabriel's looked. Let's do that. I'm deciding right now that's going to be segment 2. Let's do it because everyone's talking about it in the chat. Then we're going to talk about Kevin Stefanski replacement options, right? If Cleveland does fire him, should they? Should they not? Well, if and when they do, who's going to take over? I got names for you. Finally, the fan Q&A mailbag. All you guys that have been super chatting are awesome. We really appreciate you so much. We're going to get your questions in the show. And you can use the hashtag Browns and comment a question to try and get your question in the show as well. Or a take if you want to share something that you're feeling, something that you think about the Cleveland Browns. Well, you can do that as well. We'll put it on the screen and react to it here for all of the Browns fans on YouTube to see. So like I said, Super Chat or hashtag Browns, you can get in that video. All right, folks, thank you so much. I think we should get into our Shedeur Sanders. Oh, yeah. This is the one. Everyone wants to talk about 12. Let's talk about it. Yeah, I just saw that. My 4 hens. Josh Miller said, I can make some trades while cooking some dinner. Yeah, true. My 4 hens said, review the All-22 lot. Yeah, we're going to talk about Gabriel's performance. We have to call it how it is. I mean, I'll tell you right about exactly how Gabriel looked right here, right now. Dead Game Box has all the answers. All right. Oh, yeah, was that Saints way and just messed up? It's all good. We rolled. Ooh. Look at that. So I'll just, yeah. Yeah, I've done it before. All right. We're ready. Is it time to start Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland? When is it going to happen, folks? Browns fans, I'm going to tell you here on the show as the rumors are heating up. We're going to look at Dillon Gabriel's performances, and the experts, the insiders, Ian Rappaport have all weighed in about Shedeur Sanders' time in Cleveland and when it's coming. Welcome into the Browns Report, everybody. I am your host, Joey O'Donoghue, excited to do this video. Before I tell you the news, be the coach. I want to know where Browns fans' heads are at right now. Do you think the Browns should put in Shedeur Sanders? I'm talking for Sunday against the Dolphins. I'm saying, should he be the starter right now for Cleveland? Type Y for yes if you think Sanders should be in the game. Type N for no if you think Dillon Gabriel should still be the Browns quarterback. Where are we at? Put that letter in the comment section now so I can go and see. The first thing we have to do is talk about Dillon Gabriel's performances through 2 starts. We have to be honest. The short passing narrative is not just the narrative. The stats show it. The film shows it. He averaged 6.0 air yards per attempt and just 4 per completion against the Steelers. Completed just 4 of 15 passes, thrown 10 or more yards downfield for a total of 51 yards, according to ESPN research. Finally, he was 3 of 10 versus the Vikings in that category of passes of at least 10-plus air yards. I mean, I know there's a lot wrong with the Cleveland Browns, but that is still coexistent and true to say that Gabriel has not looked good going deep. And he's missed receivers when they're open downfield. When he finally hits them, they drop the ball. So it's just kind of a dumpster fire on offense as a whole. But those numbers right there tell you exactly what you're seeing, that we're not efficient on passes 10 yards plus. And let's be honest. The decision to draft Dillon Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders in the 3rd round, the evaluation of talent never made sense to anybody covering the NFL draft leading up to it. I mean, ESPN's Mike Greenberg had a lot to say on this very recently. He said, I'm a believer in Shedeur. There was not one draft analyst who said this guy can't play at all. Not one. I did nothing but look at quarterbacks and all the rest of the guys. There was not one person. Go back and find me one draft analyst who had Dillon Gabriel rated ahead of Shedeur Sanders. So I personally am confounded. Browns insider Mary Kay weighed in on October 12th, just a couple days ago, and said, by the way, Shedeur Sanders has arguably the number 1 trait for a quarterback, elite accuracy and uncanny touch. I believe quarterbacks can significantly improve accuracy, like Josh Allen, but Sanders is a natural in this area. Sounds like it's something Cleveland Browns need to use very soon. And look, they want it to be Gabriel, right? That's the guy Stefanski chose. They did the evaluations in preseason. They said they're going to go with Gabriel. The front office in the draft said Dillon Gabriel's available. We want him to be the guy. It didn't make sense, though, really. Like, I couldn't believe it when they took Dillon. I was like, are you serious? Shedeur's still available. And I was celebrating when they got him in the 5th. And it's just clearly not going to be the case. I mean, we'll give him a little bit more time. But look at this passing chart from the Steelers game. The green are the completions. Nothing's downfield. This is the passing chart for an entire NFL game, folks. We're barely taking shots. And when we are, I showed you 4 of 15 on passes of 10-plus yards. You can't win football games like that. And again, there's a lot of problems with the Browns' offense. But Dillon Gabriel had a lot of bad throws, a lot of them that should have been picked against the Steelers. You have to be honest about what we're seeing. In 2 weeks, just based on the 2 weeks, they were not good performances. They were fine. But they weren't anything special. There weren't anything downfield. We still lack explosive plays in the pass game. And I'm not saying you should bench him after 2 games that were okay. He didn't actually turn the ball over at all, which is great. Although a lot of those passes against the Steelers were dangerous. A couple of them were hospital balls. And again, I'm just calling it how I see it. I'm not trying to hate on Dillon Gabriel at all. I love everyone that's on the Cleveland Browns, except Deshaun Watson. But I do think we have to be honest about the play. And if, you give him 4 games, 5 games, 6 games, well, now there's no excuse not to bench him if it's the exact same thing every single week. It's what they did with Flacco, right? Play 4 or 5 games, there's 4, and then you decide to bench him because he looked bad. He was turning the ball over. If you're trying to win, if you're trying to make an evaluation of both the rookies you drafted, well, then absolutely after 4 games, 5 games, you should bench him. I'm just saying through 2 weeks, it has not been pretty still. And if that continues, he'll be benched, and Shedeur Sanders will start this season sooner than we imagine. Maybe even right after the bye week, week 9, week 10. Ian Rappaport, one of the NFL insiders I trust most, says the expectation is that Sanders will play at some point this season when he's ready. When he does play, it would be with a full week of practice and game plan built for Shedeur. This point is how Cleveland has scripted everything for Dillon Gabriel, right? He got more reps in preseason. They are game planning around him. When it's Shedeur's time to start, they want that to happen with a full game plan for Shedeur because their games are very different. And this is great news for Shedeur Sanders fans, that Ian Rappaport is telling us the expectation is Shedeur will play this year. We're going to see him. 12, get on the field. That news is going to hit. It's going to do numbers, folks. We are so excited for it. And it could benefit Sanders to wait a little bit as well. Now, I do think he still has the higher ceiling than Dillon Gabriel. He has the better intangibles. But throwing him in there right this second, it might be bad for him. We're going to talk a lot about that and when it would be best for Shedeur Sanders to start for the Cleveland Browns. But I also want to tell you guys about an awesome deal that we have on the show today, folks. This Browns polo, a Tommy Hilfiger polo, looks clean, looks nice. I'm going to get one myself. It's over 50% off if you go to chatsports.com/CLE polo. That is chatsports.com/CLE polo. If you want to look fancy, you want to look nice, classy, while you're repping the Cleveland Browns, this is the perfect polo to do it. That Tommy Hilfiger brand says money, folks. But it's cheaper than you think because it was $70. It's now only $29 to rep the Cleveland Browns in a fancy-looking polo. Chatsports.com/CLE polo. Go on there. Dress yourself up in some Browns merch. I'll put this link in the description and in the comment section so you can find it easily. But it's easy to remember. Just chatsports.com/CLE polo. Great deal that we got for you guys for being loyal supporters of the Browns Report. Okay, let's look at the Browns quarterback situation, right? The depth chart as a whole. It's just the 2 rookies on the active roster. And so you'd imagine that absolutely they're both going to get opportunities. Gabriel already has. And it just makes the most sense that eventually you put in Shedeur, especially if what we're seeing from Gabriel continues like this, nothing special, right? We'll give him a little more time and then we'll see. And At the moment for Cleveland, there's a lot of issues. Kevin Stefanski play calling is screwing over a lot of quarterbacks, right? I'm not discrediting this. The Browns' offensive line is bad. They can't pass block if their life depended on it. Awful wide receivers, too. I mean, they rank towards the bottom half of the league in every stat you can think of. Judy, supposed to be our number one, leads the league in drops. It's embarrassing, quite frankly. So there are a lot of issues with the Cleveland Browns offense right now. But you cannot argue that I think Shedeur Sanders would provide a spark to this team. That no matter what, the game that he goes out there, the crowd is going to be way more into it. The fans are going to be way more into it. The players might be way more into it. I think that is a real thing, folks. I bet our receivers play a little better just because it's Shedeur. And that's not a speculation. That is, you see it all the time when there's a quarterback. Like when Baker started for the first time and came in against the Jets. We won that football game. It's a spark plug. Shedeur has that energy. And the hype, when he does anything, is unbelievable. Like, he says anything, and it's news. He says anything, and it's all over social media. He makes any play. You will see it everywhere. You can't argue that fact, that it'll at least bring life and energy into the Cleveland Browns. Like, it's going to give the Cleveland Browns national attention just by naming him the starter. That's a real truth, that it would bring electricity and energy no matter what, and that motivates players as a whole. So get ready, Browns fans, because the perfect timing, pun intended, is coming soon. We'll see him eventually this season. Unless Dillon Gabriel goes out there and plays like he's Tom Brady, then great, we're good. But through 2 weeks, that is evidently not the case. And so this will happen. And like I said, when it does, it'll be electric. The eyes will be on it. I would do it at a home game if you can, too. With all the Browns fans, all the crowd into it. Just picture the atmosphere, folks. Cleveland needs something like that right now. We've had the life sucked out of us the past few weeks watching the offense. And the Browns want to see both rookies. It's been the plan entering the season. Now that both veterans are out of the way, Flacco's gone, Pickett's gone. Seems like that'll be the case for Cleveland. Get excited, folks, because it is rookie season in Cleveland. All our other rookies have made such a great impact. One of the quarterbacks has to be able to, right? Let's gauge everyone's assessment of talent here. Browns fans, who do you think is the better quarterback? If you think Dillon Gabriel is the better quarterback, type DG in the comment section right now. If you think Shedeur is the better quarterback, then type SS. I want to see where we're at, Browns fans. Who do you actually evaluate as the better QB? Who did you think it was leading up to the draft in preseason? Type the initials in the comment section. I want to know from the Browns fans. One more fun thing here before we wrap up. Did you see Shedeur Sanders' brother, Shedeur Sanders, was in the Browns facility pretending to be Shedeur, and fans were falling for it? Even a Steelers fan wanted his autograph. This is what I'm saying, folks. Shedeur just has that attention. I mean, a Steelers fan wanted a Browns player's autograph, folks. It's the impact that Shedeur has. We're lucky we got him in Cleveland, but it's pretty funny. I mean, he was fooling Browns fans, signing autographs saying he was Shedeur. It was Shiloh. If you were at the game, it was not Shedeur Sanders. It was Shiloh. Folks, thank you so much for being with me here on today's episode of the Browns Report. You can head on over to X. Follow me at Joey070 if you want to talk about some more Shedeur topics or anything Cleveland Browns related. I'm there. I also post some funny memes, so, I'm kind of a funny guy if you want to check those out. But that's at Joey070. We thank you so much for tuning in to the Browns Report, and we will see you very shortly here on the next episode. All right. Oh, producer Reed. Yeah, right? Here we go. Let's see what the chat was saying. Type who is better. There we go. That is the quote-unquote controversial segment out of the way. But I'm standing by it, man. We're going to see. We're going to see when he starts who's actually better. Browns Racing said SS. Suedo said SS. Who do we think is better? Jay Sean? Oh, your boy. Ninja Cow said, we will see. Brian Tucker said, yeah. Brian Tucker said, not a Sanders fan, but I have to say he's better than Gabriel. Yeah.
I mean, if you're deciding between playing either of these two, just put in Shedeur, man. Put in the guy.
Like I said, I think it's 4 to 6 weeks each. So Gabriel's up first, and Shedeur comes in later.
Jay Sean has a great point. If Shedeur was a college quarterback this year, with what he did last year, number one.
Yeah, it actually would have been
He
the
was
number one pick.
he was what he was doing last year is way better than what we're seeing from anyone this year.
Yeah. Tammy Eric says, "Let's go with SS. I give in." That's the thing. I think people are just want to see it. They're curious now, and so we will eventually. This Sunday it'll be Dillon though, as far as we know.
Imagine Shedeur just like puts himself in. Just like subs himself in.
I will say that's the other thing. He's dying to play. He was doing the same thing he did in preseason against the Rams. When he was just walking down the sideline when it was like 4 minutes left. Like and then he said afterwards, he's like, "Yeah, I was ready to go in." he is dying to get out there too, which I also like about him though. That fire, that motivation. Like he's wanted to play since week 1. You know.
So I would hope so.
I mean, yeah. But like I guess, and this works against him in terms of how people view him and with him. But like a lot of backup quarterbacks understand their role. Like Mac Jones, Jameis, the GOAT. Like Mac Jones was like, "Oh, I know I'm just a backup here, like for when Purdy can't go." Shedeur's like, "I should be out there." So, which is people saying, like they get mad at him for it, but also, I think that's gonna add some motivation, some fire. Like we need a guy that wants to be great.
That I saw that clip of Jalen Ramsey. He sacked Dillon Gabriel and looked at Shedeur and was like, "Let's go, your turn."
Yeah. Dude, that was crazy. I saw that. I was like, is that really what he did? Like I kept trying to find another angle of it. That's crazy.
Yeah, he looked at the coaches and was like, put Shedeur in. He looked at him and was like, "Let's go, let's get you in here."
Dude, see, that's crazy. This is like we haven't had a player have this type of just like league-wide attention in years. Time Man going with Shedeur as well. I like that. This is a good weigh-in, I think, because I know people joining the stream. They're like, "Oh, who's better, Shedeur or Gabriel?" Tafster says DG though. Barry Johnson said SS, and the Browns know it's SS. It's interesting though, because Stefanski picked Gabriel. This was their evaluation, and obviously they drafted him first too.
I mean, I think this is classic Moneyball.
Yeah.
Like GM drafted the quarterback that they wanted, or the coach drafted the quarterback that he wanted.
Yep.
And then it's like, all right, well, you have to draft this guy, but you can play whoever.
Yeah.
Or like it's up to him to play. Each time, I'm sure either Andrew Berry or Jimmy Haslam was like, "Let's get Shedeur going."
Yeah.
And Kevin Stefanski's like, "Nope, my team. I get to pick who plays quarterback."
Yep.
And he keeps picking Gabriel.
I think that's exactly it. And you have to think. And Haslam declined it, but you have to think. It's funny. But yeah, like I know Haslam declined it, but you have to think that was Jimmy Haslam saying Shedeur is there in the 5th round. They already drafted their quarterback.
I'm sure it was like because Haslam doesn't really get involved like that too much. But like I feel like he was probably like, "All right, who do you guys think for quarterback?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "We like Dillon Gabriel better."
Right.
And he was probably like, "All right, like he can't.
Right.
I mean, he's gonna be like, all right, like it's your decision. I mean, I would say go with Shedeur, but I can't keep you from picking the guy that you think is better."
Right.
And then I'm sure they got a call when round 5 came around and Shedeur Sanders is still there and their pick's coming up. I'm sure they got a couple calls from Jimmy Haslam saying like, "Just go grab him.
Yeah.
Go get him."
Yeah. So it's interesting. We shall see. Joshua Miller. I think you can still super chat with one though. That's right, folks. We have a Q&A coming up on the show. If you super chat with a question or a take, we'll get you on the video. Or you can use the hashtag Browns in that live chat right there with a question or take, and we will try to get you up on the screen. Super chats, skip the line. We automatically put them up as we have so far. We've had some great questions. We got a good Q&A coming up at the end of the show. But first, we're going to talk about Kevin Stefanski replacements. The next hot topic in Cleveland is it time to get rid of the head coach? Seen a lot of Browns fans say they want to. We got a live poll in the chat right now, and 82% of people said yes, fire Stefanski. So get ready. You got some great segments coming up here on the show. It's funny.
I mean, coming out of the draft, I thought Dillon sucked. Like,
Really?
I just didn't think he was a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like people were. I know he was a Heisman finalist, but he screams college quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, he's very short. He's pretty quick, like in terms of like running, but like he's fast against sophomores in college that aren't super fast. Like,
right.
But against NFL players, he's not running around like Baker can. Like,
no, yeah.
Baker, you'd be like, oh, he's not as he's not like Lamar or like a Michael Vick, where it's like, oh, he can make plays with his legs. He can when he needs to, but it's not like he usually like stays in the pocket. That's sort of how Dillon Gabriel is. Like, he can make plays, but he's not going to look fast or explosive or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of average at everything, and I don't think he has a strong arm at all.
Right. I mean, yeah, we got to be honest. That's what I thought coming out of the draft too. I was like, what are we doing? Like, and now he's your starting quarterback. It's weird. My head says DG has 5 yards rushing.
He's not. He was running. I think he ran a little bit at Oregon. Like, he would take off and like use his legs a little bit. But that's not his game. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, honestly, I mean,
TJ said nobody's like Lamar or Michael Vick. Exactly. That's my point.
J. Schwan Richardson. Dillon's not on no one's list as a top QB. I mean, yeah.
Is it like, are you calling us hillbillies, or like just like you as the general you?
I would think the general you, because we.
I hope the general you, because Dillon Gabriel was not on my list at all.
Yeah, we were just saying.
I would have taken Quinn Ewers before I would have taken Dillon Gabriel.
Oh wow, actually, yeah, I saw a lot of people say that as well. Joshua Miller though, a great point here, because the other thing about Shedeur at Colorado is like he didn't have a run game or an offensive line. Like he was the focal point of that team. He was the leader. He carried them with Travis Hunter. That's kind of what Cleveland's situation is right now. We don't have an offensive line. So we need a guy that like wants to be the hero. I mean, okay, maybe it wouldn't work because of how bad the Browns are. It wouldn't work every game unless he really is that one franchise guy. But like, we're not going to win with Dillon in this situation here. That's the thing. If we had a great team around Dillon, then he'd be fine. He'd be the game managing quarterback. If we had a great offensive line, great run game, and you could just put Dillon back there, it'd be great.
You could put anybody back.
Yeah,
really.
Right, almost like the Eagles.
But at the same time, no. At the same time, like, you need someone who's good at calling plays too. And Stefanski is not good at calling plays.
It's been bad lately. Yeah, he loves to go to play action, but you realize that we can't block long enough, and we literally will just have like play action sack. Like, the play calling is bad.
I also think like, if you're thinking about who is the better playmaker, it's Shedeur.
It's Shedeur.
But that's also a little bit of his Achilles' heel too. Is he'll try too hard to make a play, and that's when you get like the running around in the backfield and
Right.
maybe holding on for the ball too long. He's just trying to make a play, which it worked in college, but with this offensive line, can't do that. You just gotta go through your reads. If it's not there, try and roll out. If you can't roll out, throw the ball away. Like that. Like you can't really make anything other than that. And I think that's what happened during the Rams game. It's like he tried to do too much, and he can do that. He has the capabilities of doing that. We've seen that, but you can't do it all the time. Exactly. And especially with when he was playing with third string nobodies, like you got to know your limits, I guess.
Right. And so that would be the thing for him to work on when he gets out there. But your point, like he can be the playmaker. Like he can. That's what I think. He can be a good quarterback in the league.
I think Hunter has a great point.
What Hunter say? Gabriel had a great defense with the Ducks, the best O-line and decent receivers. Imagine if Sanders had that in college. Yeah, I think that's the point, is the contrast between the two. Gabriel's meant to manage the game around a good team. Sanders was the hero for Colorado's offense in college. The Browns need a hero. So, yeah. But all right, folks. We got more topics to get to. Let's talk about Kevin Stefanski's job. Is it safe? Who could replace him? We got names for you. And numbers. Keep getting your questions in through Super Chats. We appreciate all you guys sending in. Oh, did we miss one? I think we had one come in while I was filming. TW. We'll get you up on the screen, my friend. TW with the $5 Super Chat. Thank you. Mike McCarthy for head coach. He is 5 coaches to lead a franchise to 8 straight playoffs. McCarthy is second to Lambeau in all-time wins, leading the Packers. McCarthy is a free agent coach. I thought about him as well. Could certainly be an option. I think there was some sort of a falling out, though, where at the end of when he got fired, everybody was like, fire McCarthy. So there's that to consider. But he's an option as well. I almost listed him. Thank you for that $5 Super Chat, TW. By the way, can we get this stream up to 100 likes? We got 87 likes here with 168 people in. Just tap that like button right now. Show some support. Spreads it around to YouTube. We appreciate all you guys. Just one little click of a button, and then we can move on to our third segment here on the show. Jay Sanders said McCarthy would like Shedeur. Your boy Jay Sean is just... Oh, yeah, I forgot about James Franklin as well. He could be an option. For the Browns. Taster, fire Stefanski and let Schwartz play out the season. I think that's what would happen if this midseason firing were to take place.
Hey, Jay Sean, I mean, keep them coming. I mean, this is what the channel's for. It's Chat Sports. You chat about sports.
It's true.
As long as you're not, going crazy or being mean to anyone in the chat. Fair enough. Keep giving your opinion.
Yeah, true. Hunter Smith is right. Smash that like. We're 4 likes away from 100 now. Look at that. 96 likes on the stream. 4 more people tap that button, and we'll be here. Ray Schwad. People act as if Shedeur didn't scramble against Carolina. That's true. He looked great in that ball game. Preseason week 1, we were... Dude, that was so electric.
Josh Rosen sucked.
Yeah. He's more like Josh Allen 2.0. By the way, I'll never forget, I was watching that draft with my friends, and I was like, Josh Allen should be drafted next. And they were like, Josh Rosen should be drafted next. And I was like, no, watch. It'll be Allen. And it was Allen. And boy, that take aged so well for me and awful for them. Roberto said he's a diehard Browns fan here, but it's his first time here. Well, welcome. You made it to the right place. This is the channel for diehard Browns fans. I mean, we do everything Cleveland Browns, news right as it happens. So it's good to have you in here, Roberto. And we got 100 likes on the stream. Some new subscribers. You guys are awesome. This is great. All right. All right. Let's talk about Kevin Stefanski. Let's talk about Coach. Is he done? Is it over? Well, who would replace him? We got names, folks. Juicy names. Ian said, yeah, I love this channel. We love you, Ian. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Like doing this for the community, man. It's awesome. And I'm a big Browns fan myself. Been my whole life. So this is just the stars aligned. Roberto, how soon will it be until we see 12? Did you just join? We got, it'll be soon, though, Roberto. Don't worry. I'd say 4 weeks or less. Unless Gabriel's really bad, the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's done. But we'll see. All right, let's talk about Stefanski. All righty. Is everybody ready? Is the chat ready? Is Reed ready? Here we go. All right. Wait. All right. Let's do it. Who could actually replace Kevin Stefanski for the Cleveland Browns if and when he gets fired in Cleveland? We're going to talk about some names, some juicy names that are available for Cleveland folks. So get ready, buckle up wherever you are, and enjoy this show. Welcome in the Browns Report. I am your host, Joey O'Donohue, and it's no secret that Cleveland Browns fans have been screaming about Kevin Stefanski's job in Cleveland and that it's time to go. He has had an awful record in his last 23 games for the Browns. 4-19, folks. That's the exact same record that Brian Callahan had for the Titans in his last 23. And we saw how that ended up. Callahan has been fired. He's got questionable, predictable play calling and clock management. That has especially been the case the last 2 seasons. Play calls that are boring, easy for defenses to read. He loves play action, but our offensive line can't block. And so we're constantly taking sacks because it takes too long to develop the plays that Stefanski wants to call. And then the clock management at the end of the Vikings game literally lost us the football game. So you couple that with the fact that Cleveland's offense has scored 17 or fewer points in 11 straight games. That extends their longest streak in franchise history. They broke their own record for 17 or less in straight games. This is all under Kevin Stefanski, folks. So before I tell you who could actually replace him, where are we at, Browns fans? What are we feeling right now? Are you on the side that you want Kevin Stefanski fired? If you are, type F for fire. If you're not ready to go there, then type K for keep. If you're thinking we should keep Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland as the head coach, well, type one of those letters. I want to see where the Browns fans are at. Without further ado, let's tell you who can replace this man for the Browns. Well, number one name that I think would be very intriguing is Cliff Kingsbury, the offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders. What Kingsbury has been able to do for Jaden Daniels and Washington's offense has been special. I mean, they made it to an NFC Championship game last year, folks. And Kingsbury has a coaching career. He's been a head coach before. Remember when he was the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals? And now he's running the offense of a Washington football team that has been pretty good, especially last year. So if he could do that for a young quarterback, Jaden Daniels, could he do that for Dillon Gabriel, for Shedeur Sanders? Could he bring out the best in quarterbacks that were great in college? That's the case for the Commanders. I would absolutely love that to be the case for the Cleveland Browns. So Cliff Kingsbury is the first name on this list that could replace Kevin Stefanski. This would be in the offseason if it were the case. Coming up, we've got a couple other names now after Cliff Kingsbury. How about Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady? You want to talk about an offensive-minded coordinator that's done a good job for a football team? Go ahead and look at the Buffalo Bills offense, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say, as I get into my list of replacements too, I'm specifically looking for an offensive-minded coach to take over because I like what Jim Schwartz has done with the Browns defense. I love him at DC. Now, if Stefanski's firing were to happen mid-season, Jim Schwartz would likely be the interim head coach for the Cleveland Browns. But in the offseason, when you got the chance to get a guy, get someone who's offensive-minded because, my goodness, does this offense need some help in Cleveland, folks. They have been struggling. I showed you the stats. It's awful. They're also dead last in points per game in the league. The Browns average 13.7 right now. It's literally the worst. 32nd. That's where we're at, folks. So Joe Brady would absolutely be a great candidate to come take over this Cleveland Browns offense, folks. The Bills are averaging nearly 30 points a game this season. What he's done with Josh Allen, James Cook, he's developed those young stars, folks. 27.8 points per game to be exact in 2025. Cleveland could use that. Boost up their 13.7. Joe Brady, great candidate for the Browns. Moving on to the next one. This name is probably going to make you jump out of your seat a little bit. Like, whoa, is this an option? Well, how about Bill Belichick, head coach of North Carolina's football team right now, folks? And man, does this guy have a coaching pedigree. But what's most interesting about it, Browns fans? You talk about someone who has ties to Cleveland? Bill Belichick was the coach of the Cleveland Browns from 1991 to 1995. How many of you Browns fans were alive and watching this football team when this photo was taken? Comment down below if you were a Browns fan during this time. Yeah, I bet a lot of you were. But Belichick's got ties to Cleveland. Of course, right when we let him go, he went on to win 6 Super Bowls with the New England Patriots. And he coached that franchise for 23 years. A decorated career. So many wins. They were calling him the greatest coach ever until Brady left. You know, Patriots took a little bit of a slide. People started debating, but he had a hell of a lot of success in New England. Super Bowl champion. The story's a lot different around Bill Belichick right now, though. Obviously, he's got that young girlfriend of his, my age, and UNC has been blown out 3 times in 5 games this season. It looks a little bit different. Maybe he's a little bit more distracted nowadays. His head's not in it. So he's also pretty old. That would just be quite the story if he came back to Cleveland. Doesn't seem like he's going to last too long in North Carolina, though. So who knows? Maybe he wants to go be an NFL coach once again. Bill's not done. Should the Browns bring him back? Be the GM. Make this decision. Should the Cleveland Browns actually consider Bill Belichick for their head coaching job? If you think they should, type Y for yes in that comment section. If you're like, no way, no how, he's too old, he's got other things going on, type N for no in the comment section. I really am curious what Browns fans think about this concept. Before we get into the next list of head coaching candidates for the Cleveland Browns, I'm excited to tell you that this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it is good to be right. Honestly, I am just so hyped that Cleveland Browns football is back on Sundays. All is right with the world, and I'm big into daily fantasy with Prize Picks. I'm obsessed with it because it makes all the games more entertaining. And before the Browns play, I lock in on all my players in my lineup and their player projections. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. And Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want to pick more on Josh Allen's pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns? Now you can pick all of them in the same lineup, only on Prize Picks. And you know I got to make a lineup every single week. I truly love doing this stuff. I've got Jamar Chase, more than half a touchdown. It could be rushing or receiving. Joe Flacco, less than 235.5 passing yards. He's not doing that against the Steelers. And finally, Trevor Lawrence, more than half a passing touchdown. I like the way he's been balling in Jacksonville lately. I'm going to be making money. You can too if you download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. The next name on this list may shock you folks, but there's real rumors about John Harbaugh's job security with Baltimore. It's been there oh so long. And if he gets fired, and Cleveland wants to give him an offer, I can't say I'd be opposed. He's had such a great coaching tenure. I mean, he really is one of the better coaches in the league and of all time in the league as of recent memory. The Baltimore Ravens are an absolute mess right now. They look awful. Our Ravens host here at Chat Sports literally made a video just like this one called John Harbaugh Replacements. They're calling for Harbaugh to lose his job over in Baltimore, which is crazy. If they make that mistake, well, we'll take them. And I know, division rival, Maybe you hate Harbaugh because you're a Browns fan like me. But I do respect the coaches in our division. Not Zach Taylor, he sucks. But Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh done a great job for years with their respective franchises. This is the AFC North standings as we look at it. Obviously, our Cleveland Browns and Baltimore Ravens are both 1-5 this year. Things are bad in Baltimore. And Harbaugh, a lot of his success is now being contributed to Lamar Jackson. I mean, before Lamar, you look at years 2013, 2014, you guys remember these. 8-8, 5-11, 8-8 again, and then finally had a winning record, went 9-7 in 2016. So it wasn't all pretty before Jackson got there. And it just shows that a lot of other coaches maybe would be successful with Lamar as Harbaugh starts aging. If Baltimore really does make this move, would John Harbaugh consider coming to Cleveland? Because he's coached against them for so long, I mean, AFC North rivalries they're a real thing. You feel the emotions of it. You feel the fight, the physicality. When we play the Steelers, when we play Baltimore, you really do feel that fire, that passion about how much disdain there is for the opposing team in the same division. It's a real thing. Would John Harbaugh consider this? Would you consider this as a Cleveland Browns fan? Would you want John Harbaugh as the Browns head coach? Browns fans, let me know in the comment section. Would you hire a rival if a really good head coach came available from the AFC North? Just type yes or no in that comment section if you would consider John Harbaugh as the Browns head coach. Let's move on to our next name on the list of Stefanski replacements. How about John Gruden? I mean, this one would kind of be electric. John Gruden, what a funny personality he is. He's over working at Barstool Sports right now, if you don't know. But he's got a long coaching history in the National Football League. Let's look at his head coaching history specifically. He was the head coach of the Oakland Raiders up until 2001. And then he coached the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for about 6-7 years. And finally, Oakland, who then became the Las Vegas Raiders, Gruden was their head coach from 2018 to 2021. Now, there was some controversy, I believe, that ended his tenure as a head coach in the NFL. But this guy is addicted to football. I mean, Gruden loves it. If you've watched any of his stuff, he knows the X's and O's better than anyone else I've heard. I mean, it's unbelievable how much he studies, how much he knows, how excited and passionate he is about play calling, which we desperately need someone who's a little more passionate about calling plays in Cleveland. I kind of think it'd be electric. I'm not going to lie. If John Gruden was the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, I think it would add a lot of social media attention to Cleveland. I think he would care so much about it. He would love to get another opportunity in the National Football League. I mean, he lives for this. Truly, he does love football. But it's probably unlikely that he goes from media personality to head coach in the league again, right? I would think so. But if Cleveland were to give him an opportunity, I bet he'd take it in a heartbeat. And it might actually help the Cleveland Browns a little bit. Maybe it'd make us a little bit more of a joke, which wouldn't be good. But I do think that his fire and passion for Cleveland, for football, would be something that could help the Cleveland Browns in the short term. But again, I don't think it's going to happen. Some other options to replace Kevin Stefanski, some other coordinators across the league. First of all, Arthur Smith from the Steelers. No. He sucks. He's terrible. The Steelers' offense, nothing good to speak of. But he is another name that a lot of people are bringing up to be a head coach eventually and move up from that coordinator role. Matt Nagy, offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs, another name that's been getting a lot of buzz. And this would be an intriguing one. Obviously, the Chiefs have had so much success on offense. Sometimes they look a little bit surprisingly stale. But Nagy, who's been a head coach before in the NFL, is now an offensive coordinator, and one of the best offensive schemes in the past few years is an option Cleveland could look at in the offseason. Let's go to college coaches. Marcus Freeman, head coach of Notre Dame. There's been a lot of buzz about Freeman moving up to coach in the NFL. What he did with that Notre Dame program, getting them to a championship game, is impressive. He's got energy. A lot of people like him. Freeman's a name to watch. Josh Grizzard, offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What the Bucs offense has been doing is phenomenal. Of course, with our old friend Baker Mayfield, who is literally in MVP conversations right now, and Kevin Stefanski could not develop him enough. He was great. I never said we should trade him. Just let that be on the record. But whatever. We're moved on. We're over it. He's in Tampa Bay right now. And Josh Grizzard's done a phenomenal job developing their offense. I would absolutely love him to come to Cleveland. I bet he'll be a competitive one to get, though, this offseason. And finally, how about Dan Lanning, head coach of the Oregon Ducks? Dillon Gabriel played for Dan Lanning. There's a connection there. Lanning could be looking to move up to an NFL head coaching spot. Chemistry would be there. That is, if Gabriel's still the starting quarterback next year, we will see. But there's connection to Oregon in Cleveland already. Some other options for the Browns to look at. And as of now, both Callahans are up for grabs. That's Brian Callahan and Bill Callahan. And a lot of Browns fans are screaming that Bill Callahan should return to Cleveland, help fix our offensive line. I don't think Bill would be able to do much of a job as a head coach, potentially. That's not necessarily ever been his strong suit. And Brian Callahan, well, he got fired for a reason. I wouldn't consider that one. But both of them are up for grabs. If we could bring in Bill just to help the staff be the offensive line coach again, now that's something I could be convinced of. That I could buy into. But, folks, for Kevin Stefanski, a loss to the Dolphins on Sunday, if we score less than 20 points again and lose to the Miami Dolphins, who we are favored against, it's over. Then I'm done as well. I'm screaming it from the rooftops. It is time to fire Kevin Stefanski. If we lose to the Dolphins, I mean, come on. It would be over, and we'd have to go and get one of the replacements that I just named for you folks. Mike McCarthy, also a free agent head coach right now, coached Dallas and Green Bay. He could be another option. It would be so interesting to look at, folks, who Cleveland would turn to in the event that they fire Kevin Stefanski, which is why you're going to want to be subscribed to the Browns Report and have your notifications on, because the minute Cleveland fires Stefanski, we'll give you a video instantly talking about it and why it happened, and we'll probably go live if that happens. And then when they hire a new head coach, we'll be here for you guys with more videos, more coverage to talk about who Cleveland's bringing in. So you don't want to miss that. Make sure you are subscribed to the Browns Report. We're so close to 55K. We thank you all for being a part of the family and tuning in here to the Browns Report. Thank you so much, fans, and we will see you next time on the show. Cool. Where we at, fans? Where we at? Hey, Super Chats come in as well. Would we go live if Stefanski got fired? Would we go live if Stefanski got fired? Yeah. Yeah, especially mid-season, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, he sucked lately, though. More Super Chats coming in. Super Chats. Appreciate you guys. Hey, look at this stream. Over 113 likes right now. AFX, the $2. Bring back Bill and Nick Saban. Hey, I bet Saban's got a little fire in him left to coach some football. He misses it. That's what happened to Belichick. Bring him in. Bring him in. Bring him in. AFX, thank you so much for the $2 Super Chat. We appreciate you. We got some more. TW. Appreciate you, TW, for that $2 Super Chat. Mike McCarthy or John Harbaugh. So TW would be in on John Harbaugh coaching the Cleveland Browns. Once our rival would become our friend. And I'm kind of with it, though, as well. I mean, Harbaugh, he really is. He's such a good coach. I won't lie. The Ravens always have some loopholes, too, that are pretty impressive. Like, he reads the rule book. He knows it well. They do that thing where you end the game on a penalty and just to not let the other team have a chance to return a punt or something. Just run out the back of the end zone, commit a bunch of holding, and the game's over. That was so funny. So I would like it, too, if he became free. Why not? I like that from TW. Also had one come in from Jalapeno. Spicy hot super chat from Jalapeno. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Actually, get ready this Sunday because we are going to do some spicy hot deals. Yeah, that's right. Might involve that's right. Might involve some hot sauce. We shall see. Hunter Smith said Saban or Gruden would be nice. I like this. You would like that. I like that. I like people are speculating about these names here. There's a lot more options than I thought when I started doing the research for the video. I'm like, holy shoot, they could turn to anybody.
Yes, Saban. Saban could be.
Nick Saban.
But he has said he does not want to leave.
Yeah.
Like he's good with what he's doing.
TW, $5 super chat. Appreciate you, TW. Got the #1 crown next to TW's name right now. Keep it going. It's balling. Thank you so much, TW, for that $5 super chat. He said, hey, look at what Deion did for the whole state of Colorado. He said he would only coach his son if he went to the NFL. I forgot about Deion. That's actually that was another rumor in the draft that Deion would go wherever Shedeur went. Holy shoot, that could be imagine Sanders is the starter next year and Stefanski gets fired in the offseason. Deion absolutely would be calling up about that job. That's true. Yeah, it's true. What's up? Chugs, we're talking about Shedeur. We got Shedeur's biggest fan here. His name is Chugs. Good to see you, Chugs. That's funny. Thank you so much, TW, for that $5 super chat. Folks, our last segment today is going to be a Q&A with all of your super chat questions. And those of you who comment a question or take with the hashtag Browns in this live chat. Producer Reed does a good job. He goes through, picks some good questions, picks some takes. And the ones that you send with a super chat, we get you on the show. So we appreciate all of you guys for sending those in. We've got a Q&A mailbag video coming up here very shortly. So get those in. Get in your final super chats, questions, and takes before we film that one here on today's show. Tech Def said, I'll take Deion as a coach. Why not? Can't be worse. Might be a little more exciting. For sure. All right. Kendraff man said Tank Bowl is the Dolphins and Browns. The loser of that game, head coach might get fired that week. Like, literally, folks, there's a lot riding on this game. Some Browns fans might be like, lose the game then if Stefanski's going to get fired after it. I mean, if you lose to the Dolphins and you don't put up 20 again, they have the worst rush defense in the league, by the way. 32nd. Like, feed Judkins.
Quinshawn Judkins fantasy owners, very happy.
To the moon this week. I'm hyped. I'll put out a short later tomorrow probably about it. All right. Kevin Quinn said it'd be worth losing just so Stefanski gets fired. Yeah, there might be some Browns fans rooting for that. To lose to fire Stefanski. All right, Browns fans, are you guys ready? Ready for me to answer your questions, your takes here on the show? Are you ready, Reed? Yeah? No? Maybe so? I'm going to take that as a yes. All right. Yeah. There we go. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sweet. All right. Shall we? Remember, folks, you can get those super chats in, and Reed will get you on as we film. But we're ready for this Q&A here now. So let's do it. I wasn't actually ready. I'm sorry. Well, you're cutting it up anyway. All right. Ready? Let's do it. Browns fans have trade questions, coach questions. There's so much going on in Cleveland right now. Quarterback questions. We're going to get to everything that Cleveland Browns fans want to know on today's show. It's all about you people, what you say in my comment section. We're getting to it. But before we get into what you want to know, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Welcome into the Browns Report, folks. I am your host, Joey O'Donohue. And if you want the best Browns coverage every single day of the year, hit that sub button. It is free. We cover you with Cleveland Browns news, content, analysis. As soon as it happens, we'll be here for you. And it's a community vibe. We like to get everyone's opinions, everyone's thoughts on the show, and hang out, have a really good time with our shared interest and passion for Cleveland Browns football. So hit that subscribe button, folks. We appreciate all of you. Let's get into our first super chat. Comes in from Browns fan faithful Joshua Miller. Bring back Bill Callahan ASAP, as in yesterday. Seeing a lot of Browns fans commenting about Bill Callahan, who is also now available. After Brian Callahan was fired, Bill left too. And our offensive line needs help. They really do. So if we could bring back Bill, get him in the mix, help that offense, I wouldn't be opposed at all. I'd love it. We got some options to replace Kevin Stefanski here as well. I just made a video on this, so go check it out yesterday if you missed it. But I think we need an offensive-minded coach. And so if you could get Joe Brady or Cliff Kingsbury, who've done a phenomenal job with Washington's offense, Buffalo's offense, especially the fact that Commanders have a young quarterback who's just developed right away under Cliff Kingsbury and was brought to the NFC Championship game, we need that. Some surprising names on there as well. You're going to watch the whole video. But Bill Callahan, I'd say if we get him on the coaching staff, that'd be great. I don't know if he could be the head coach right away for the Browns. But thank you for that question, Joshua Miller. A lot of Browns fans talking about bringing back Bill. So we do appreciate you for that. Let's get into our next one from Rose. What if, for a coach pick, we snag Brian Flores to be the head coach? Another good option, Rose. Flores is a lot of buzz on him potentially being a head coach for a football team this season. But to me, he's very defensive-minded, right? He's a defensive coordinator right now. He does a great job with the Vikings. I think we need an offensive-minded head coach because our offense has just been so stagnant, hard to watch. They can't move the ball. They averaged 6 yards per attempt last week, 4 yards per completion. I mean, it is bad. Our defense has been solid most of the year. Jim Schwartz does a great job. I want an offensive-minded coach who's going to call some plays, or at least let our offensive coordinator call plays and dial something up to succeed on offense. Moving on to Ben Spar, $2 super chat. Thank you. He's also talking about bringing Bill Callahan back, and then says, get Dillon Gabriel more shot plays to Isaiah Bond, please. Look, we got to be honest about what we've seen from Dillon Gabriel so far. The offense is not moving. It was not good with Flacco, but it's very conservative under Gabriel. I mean, there's just been short pass after short pass, and you look at throws 10 or more yards downfield, Gabriel's was just 4-15 against the Steelers. Against the Vikings, he was 3 of 10 in that stat of passes of at least 10 air yards. 10, a simple first down. And we're inefficient in that category, are we? So, unfortunately, we're going to need more shot plays from Gabriel. And if he doesn't have that ability, then we got to turn to Shedeur. That's how it is. That's the truth. I'd love to see Bond get loose with that speed as well. But nobody's really on the same page on offense right now. It's a dumpster fire. Moving on to TW. $10 super chat. Thank you so much, TW. Says, I don't care if it was preseason or not. The most exciting and high-scoring game was Sanders' first game. Browns don't deserve a quarterback on their team. They are scared to trade Sanders because he may be a Baker. Lot to unpack here from TW, but that first point is absolutely true. I mean, that was the most viewed game on the channel, first of all, and it brought so many eyes to preseason. It was so exciting. It's the most points the Browns have put up. It was the first game of preseason. So there's a point to be made there that Shedeur would provide a spark that Cleveland needs right now. It would bring energy. Just the news that he's starting, the atmosphere, the crowd would be into it. So, and I made that point a long time ago that I want to see Shedeur play for us, not get rid of him. You're right. They're not trading him. I bet a couple quarterback-needy teams have been interested, and they're keeping him. It's like they're holding him hostage here until he finally gets to play. because we don't want him to walk away and end up being a really good quarterback. Joshua Miller is back with $2. Says, build a trade around Jerome Ford and Hollywood Brown. I think going after one of the Chiefs receivers could absolutely be a move for Cleveland now that they've got Rashee Rice back. And boy, do we desperately need receiver help. I mean, the ranks for the wide receivers this year have been awful. There was a stat I did on an earlier video that ESPN went ahead and ranked 89 wide receivers and tight ends in terms of just receiver ability, yards after catch, getting open, things like that. Jerry Jeudy was ranked 87 out of 89. I mean, it's bad, folks. He's our number one, and he's just not having the same season as he did last year. So we desperately need help in that room. Chiefs have a couple extra wide receivers to spare. They desperately need a running back. Jerome Ford on the trade block. We'll cover you when that trade happens, if it does. Make the call, Barry. Get somebody. All right, next up we got a comment from Annie Position 6'9". Do you think the Browns should go after Chris Olave? Speaking of wide receivers that Cleveland needs to get, absolutely, I would love this move if they went out and got Saints wide receiver Chris Olave. I mean, he is a talented football player. As a talent, you could evaluate him as needing to trade a second-round pick for. But because of the injury history and because he's likely going to be traded, I think teams could get him for a third. I even saw some saying a fourth, which is very low for Olave. But we need a wide receiver one. We need a star. He's the one that's on the block right now. Cleveland, go out there, make the move. Andrew Berry, make the call. We need it. We need wide receiver help in Cleveland right now. What do you think, Browns fans? Are you with me? Should the Browns go after Chris Olave? Should we do it? Type Y for yes in the comment section if you think Cleveland should go trade for Chris Olave. If you don't think so, if you think we're good, well, then you haven't been watching the Browns offense. But you can type N for no if you don't want to get Olave. Maybe it's something about him that you don't like. Sure, that's fair. Let me know in the comment section right now. Before we get into more questions and more rumors from you guys, I got to tell you about this awesome deal that we're giving you here at Chat Sports. This Browns polo, fresh, clean, classy, dressy, Tommy Hilfiger, a notable brand. The Browns polo is over 50% off right now at chatsports.com/CLE polo. It was $70 originally because it's a nice polo. It's now $29. You can get that on sale, chatsports.com/CLE polo. It's a nice, easy link for you to remember. I'll put it in the description. I will put it in the comments section as well so you can get to it. But like I said, it's only $29 now when it was $70 originally. Chatsports.com/CLE polo. Go grab yourself this Tommy Hilfiger Browns polo. Moving on to our next Super Chat question of the day. $5 from TW. Mike McCarthy for head coach. He is of 5 coaches to lead a franchise, 8 straight playoff. McCarthy, second to Lambeau in all-time wins leading the Packers. McCarthy's definitely had some success in his coaching career. I mean, there were moments, though, at the end of his Cowboys career where the fans were screaming that he should be fired, too. But he's established. He's a free agent head coach right now. This is definitely an option Cleveland could look to pursue as someone who's had head coaching success, a head coaching history, and is available right now as a free agent for the Cleveland Browns. So there's so many names for Cleveland to consider. And with Stefanski being called for to be on his way out, this could be real. Stefanski said he doesn't listen to the noise, but there's a lot. There is a lot. Moving on to our next comment. We've got LQV1P. Realistically, do you think Browns can beat the Miami Dolphins? I think we can if we can find the end zone more. I absolutely think we can beat the Dolphins on Sunday. I mean, we're favored to win. -3. And your point, yeah, you know what? I guarantee you, if we score more points than the Dolphins, we will beat them. That is a guarantee from Joey O on the Browns Report. But no, realistically, of course we can. Their team is awful. Their run defense is 32nd. It's worse than the league. They're 30th in total defense. The game plan should be feed Quinshon Judkins and just let him cook. Because the first few weeks he started was averaging 5 yards a carry. And against that Dolphins defense that has literally given up the most rushing yards of any team in the National Football League, if you do not feed Quinshon Judkins, fire Stefanski on the spot. He didn't get involved enough last week because of Stefanski. This week, there's no excuse for it. Miami's awful. They've been gashed by running backs, and Judkins is going to have a field day. It's so good. It's written there for him. So, yes, we could beat Miami. We should. We're favored. We're at home. There's no excuse to lose this football game. If you do, drastic changes need to be made. And that could be firing the coach or benching the quarterback, whatever it is. Whirling Fan says, what is your guys' opinion on Gabriel grabbing and slightly kneeing Queen after the whistle? This is a good question we haven't talked about on the show at all yet today, folks. I don't know if you guys saw this clip, but it was kind of weird, kind of hostile, the way Gabriel just picked up Patrick Queen and kind of started yelling. I think this is one of those moments where it's literally true. It's valid to say, imagine if Shedeur Sanders did that, what the reaction would be on social media. Because, yes, there were videos of it, but like I said, this has not come up at all. We've been doing a whole live show here today. There's not a lot of buzz around it. If it was Shedeur, I mean, people would just be crucifying him. But they're kind of letting Gabriel slide with it. I don't understand what it was. I don't know why he did it to Patrick Queen, who's a lot bigger than him and one of the better linebackers in football. He definitely was last year. I didn't understand it. But it happened. I don't like it. I don't get it. Dillon, you're losing your cool, man. Keep it together. Next up, Saying Soul. When was the last time the Browns drafted a quarterback that was 6'5"? It's a good question, man. It seems like we don't really draft the big guys, huh? Well, we could use one, that's for sure. I think when was the last time the Browns drafted a quarterback that was successful would be a good question, because it has been lacking. It has been the story of Cleveland's franchise history, folks. Who is going to be the Browns guy? Somebody save us. See if it's our rookies this year. Brian Tucker. We should let Reese call plays. I'm with this. I made this take as well. Why isn't Tommy Reese calling the plays? Stefanski, you got to give it up at some point. He insists on calling the plays week after week after week. A lot of fans are saying it's an ego thing with Kevin Stefanski. I don't know. But I know there's a lot on his plate. He's got a lot to focus on, a lot to game plan. Adding play calling to his duties is making things harder, and they're not creative. It's like he's phoning it in every week. Give up the duties to Tommy Reese. See if that changes anything. Lets you be able to focus on other things, like clock management, which you need to work on. Let's see. I'm with that. Brian, because we need to try something else at this point. Time in the Buckeye making it in. What do you think if Deion Sanders will be head coach of the Browns if he gets fired? Time in. I started thinking about this rumor, and it was like, there could be truth to this, because remember, in the NFL draft, that was the rumor, was that Deion Sanders was going to follow Shedeur Sanders wherever he went. That was under the impression that Shedeur would be a first-round pick, as everyone expected him to be. In fact, the top 5 pick, as experts like Mel Kiper expected him to be. Because he didn't end up getting a starting opportunity, well, there's no reason for Deion to go coach that football team. But what if Shedeur Sanders is the starting quarterback for Cleveland next year and Kevin Stefanski gets fired? I bet Deion is making that call. I bet he's asking for an interview. Could you imagine if Deion Sanders was coaching the Browns and Shedeur was the starting quarterback next year? There would be a lot of eyes on the Cleveland Browns. I will just say that. So it's a real possibility for sure. I don't know if it would happen. I think if there was any way it would actually happen, it would be because Shedeur Sanders is a starting quarterback. But there's so many options for Cleveland to replace Stefanski. Next up, we got Pete Jerpants, legend of the Browns Report. If Stefanski and his boy Dillon Gabriel can't beat the Dolphins, they both got to go. Interesting take here from Pete. I mean, there really is no excuse to losing to the Miami Dolphins this week. This is one of the few games that Cleveland is favored in this week. And so, I mean, if you don't win and your offense doesn't put up 20 for the 12th straight week, it's over. Fire Stefanski. I'm done. It's over. As for Dillon's part of it, well, Gabriel's been very conservative and has not completed many passes downfield at all. I mean, we're talking 10-plus yards. He's not good. So, Browns fans, would you do both? Would you just completely revamp, say, you know what? Fire Stefanski and start Shedeur if we lose to the Dolphins? Comment below what you think of this concept, Browns fans, that our fan had just asked us about. Let me know if you would do it. I mean, that would certainly be new life, a complete fresh start, new coach, new quarterback, the two biggest things of a team. If you lose to the Dolphins, would you do it, Browns fans? Would you do it? I don't think they will, but it's a possibility. AFX. Could Quinshon Judkins be suspended? Could it happen next year like Rashee Rice? This is a great question, and I think Browns fans are wondering, or were wondering this offseason. And I did a lot of research about Quinshon Judkins' legal situation leading up to the year. The NFL has not announced a verdict, has not concluded their investigation of Quinshon Judkins. This is eerily similar to the Rashee Rice case, where Rice was able to just play out the entire year in 2024 and then served his suspension at the start of this year, which just ended after 6 weeks. Should the NFL find that Judkins violated the NFL's personal conduct policy, they could absolutely give Judkins a suspension still. Now, I don't think he should get one. I don't think he deserves it. All his cases were dropped in court for a variety of reasons, as listed by the state attorney office. But if the NFL does find that he violated the personal conduct policy, well, absolutely, he could play the rest of this year and then be suspended to start next year, 4 games or whatever they ended up ruling. Hopefully that will not be the case. We're free to see Judkins play for the first few games and hopefully the rest of this season, but it absolutely could be a lot like Rashee Rice's case. We will update you if the NFL gives us a verdict on Judkins. I would hope and imagine it would be no games, but there's still a very real possibility it's 2 to 4 or something of that nature. Folks, thank you so much for tuning into the Browns Report. We appreciate all of you getting involved, interacting in our chat. We thank you. We love you for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button if you want daily Cleveland Browns news, content, and rumors and analysis. We got you covered here, folks. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we will see you next time on the Browns Report. Woo! Fun times. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Good stuff, folks. Good questions. Fun times. Good times, good times. Hyman was saying the old offensive line sucks. Yeah, it does. Joshua Miller. Tim Couch was 6'4". He may be the closest. Tim Couch was a legend. Early 2000 legend. Hunter Smith. Yeah, what's up with that? CJ wants Dillon Gabriel to be traded to the Steelers. Hunter Smith was saying it's easy to game plan against the Browns offense because DG can't throw downfield, stretch out the D. Valid at the moment. That's what we've been seeing the past couple weeks, so we'll see. Yeah, hate the Steelers. Spam F Pitt. F them. F them. Joshua Miller, trade coach Stefanski. I would love that. It's possible. I would love that. Because they're saying teams would hire him in a minute. Well, have fun with that. And if that's the case, let's trade him. Sure. I'm with it. Folks, thank you so much for hanging out with us here today on this Wednesday afternoon. It's been a lot of fun. And we appreciate all you guys hopping in, commenting, super chatting, liking the stream. Like, all that really helps us out. We really appreciate all the Browns fans in the chat. So thank you so much for tuning in, folks. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. But we thank you so much for being a part of today's show. From producer Reed and Joey O, we thank you so much. And we will see you next time here on the Browns Report.